right.
Feel my tasteless.
I barely got time to finish my sandwich. It's still in my mouth.
Well, you eat fast.
I do.
Actually, you don't. You're a pretty slow eater.
But I try to eat fast.
I eat fast. What I try to do is just swallow things whole like a snake.
Our toast is very dangerous.
I know, man. Snakes live.
You're a dangerous guy.
They live a dangerous life, man. You know what I decided my ferrets are? They're just furry snakes with legs, man. That's all they are. My little furry snakes.
You know, I'm not into snakes.
Well, no. I'm not a snake guy either.
I'm just... You know what's the worst, though, is the guy that has, like, the pet tarantula, and it doesn't move?
Yeah.
You see that? He's, like, in a cage. I'm like, why did you do that? And he's like, well, it eats a cricket every 2 days. It's crazy. Crickets are trying to get away. It's in a cage. Okay.
Wow. Well, who will go on to the round of 16?
I don't know. My bet is going to be Clide, but, you know, Ensnare really impressed me that last game. That was some really nice aggressive Terran style. But then again, Clide is the greatest player on Earth. So, you got to keep that in there. Factor in as well. So, some sandwich stuff in my mouth. Head-to-head, Clide against Ensnare here at the GSL Codex. Look at these sexy graphics. These sexy companies who support us.
Well, who's this, Tasteless?
In the bottom right, we have a member of GSL. He is...
GSL Clide.
Clide. And then... Oh, wait for it. I really have high expectations for Clide going into this. Okay, in the top starting location, we have one of the best Terran players from the beta. He is...
Ensnare.
You know, I'm feeling pretty good about Clide here. You know, he pushed MVP to MVP's limits. That game was actually closer than any of the games Top put out against MVP.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what that game was? It's like they both got so far into a TVT where they were played almost perfectly.
Yeah.
It was like, well, MVP is just slightly better than Clide. Yeah.
And it counts over time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually... A lot of people joke about Clide because we've talked about him so much, but there were points in time where he was the best player in the world. I mean, he continues to show that he is amongst the absolute top Terrans that there are.
He's one of the elite.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Nothing but respect for that guy.
These positions are pretty interesting, too. They're very close by air, moderately close by ground. This usually does lead to, what is he doing? Is he going to... Okay, I thought he was going to make something up there. False alarm.
That would be funny. Well, Clide looks like he's going to go for a Reaper. Really wants to get a Scout in. Does not want to be playing blind at all. And I like that he's doing that. You know, the Reaper expand is very, very safe. It's a slightly later expand, but just seeing what your opponent's doing one time for a Reaper can be awesome.
All right, nice. A little wall in here. I do love the Reaper opening.
Will Ensnare be able to catch it, though? You know, sometimes you jump the Reaper up and the Marines just happen to be in the right place, and bam, Reaper's dead.
Okay, the Reaper's about to pop out. I like this little wall in because even if you lift off, it's still tight. So good.
Clide teching right up. In fact, that's quite interesting. He did not go Reaper expand. He went Reaper into factory and to gas.
Probably an unexpected Banshee rush.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, Tasteless. But he's also shown that. This is quite interesting.
Whoop, the Reaper just barely out of range.
And those Marines actually were attacking the depot.
Oh, is that what happened? I got confused there for a second.
Like, wow, that Reaper is not taking any damage, man. Clyde's Reapers can dodge bullets.
Apparently the Reapers, the Marines can actually miss.
Clide has a Matrix Reaper. It's like, there is no spoon, and like, just stops the bullets, the Marine bullets.
I don't think he'd say it like that, though. Like, there is no spoon.
That's exactly how I would say.
Oh, don't do it, Clide. Oh, I'm surprised he even did that. He should have known. I mean, actually, that was pretty much a novice
Ensnare,
error
actually,
there.
yeah, he had Marines pretty
It's like,
much
of course,
everywhere.
he's going to have Marines there.
Cloak going up for Ensnare, so he's going Cloaked Banshee Rush. In the meantime, Clide is finishing up his starport. What is Clide going to make? Ah, he's going Raven first. And he showed an upgrade there that is just so beautiful. Caduceus Reactor, it's very cheap. You tell it to upgrade so that when it gets scattered, they're like, oh, Cloaked Banshee as well. Okay. But actually, that is just a tricky trick. He's going to have that Raven out. He's going to get a Viking thereafter. And he's going to be in great position here against the Cloaked Banshee Rush.
You know, Clide even tricked me because I just assumed, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a quick Banshee Rush. And now he's going to be in this awesome position. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with Clide. This is a real thinking man's build.
Yeah, he's playing very smart and very safe, and that's exactly what he needs to do. He wants that round of 16 so that he can just make it further and further this GSL. Sees the Raven, says, what?
That's actually a good use of the auto turret.
Yeah, he can't fly behind there now. It's quite nice. And
it's just like guaranteed, you know, to protect him like that. You know, we didn't see the auto turret as much at the start of Starcraft 2, but I think people realized, oh, you know, I don't always use the Raven's abilities right away. You know, it's pretty common when you move out of your base to have full Raven energy.
Yeah.
So you might as well shoot down an auto turret if you think it's going to allow you to stay safe, especially against a Banshee Rush like that.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth it. Though the 50 energy could not have been used better in this situation. Well, Ensnare is making that command center. He is just kind of harassing around the map with that Banshee. He can still use it. And Clide has a reactor already on his starport, as we see, so he's going to get a leg up in the air war. A lot of Vikings out. Getting his blue flames as well.
And the orbital is almost done here. Looks like we're going to have another Banshee attempt in here. And he's got to be careful. He is spread a little bit thin here on defense because he went for that Raven so quickly.
Really nice play there by Ensnare, bringing in Cloaked Banshees from 2 angles, knowing there's just a single Raven.
And he is following this up with a lot of Vikings of his own. I like this. Reactor Vikings, in fact.
Well, another factory going up for Clide, so he's going to go mech. Handsome, handsome, handsome. Ensnare getting a very quick armory and a factory. So I think we're actually going to see quite a quick Thor here. He might be thinking that Clide's planning on going for Sky Terran. And of course, Thor kind of destroys that.
All right, the Banshee moving back and forth. It looks like it might get intercepted, though. He's got to be careful. And apparently not. Excuse me. He is
turns around.
Gonna get away.
You know, the Viking and Banshee are the same speed, but of course, if you micro a Viking correctly, it'll chase down a Banshee that's in range. Almost always.
Gutsy move here. Also a little bit of a premature cloak, but just getting a few SCVs. And will he get out in time?
I love that as soon as he sees those Vikings, he moves away, knowing the Raven's a little bit slower, so that he will be out of range unless his opponent scans.
Uh-oh. Not enough energy to scan.
Well, 2 Thors are on the way. And we may see Ensnare try to hit like a really funky timing here with Thors, because Clide has put so much money into his Vikings so far. Clide is a little bit known for loving Vikings in this matchup. But of course, Ensnare, as we saw in the last game, he's quite a Viking guy as well. And he looks like he may be using Thor for now, at least, to deter scouting.
Sorry, Ensnare is definitely going the right way about this. Just getting that Thor out there right away. When he identifies that there's a potential for, Clide to go for the Sky Terran style.
You know, Sky Terran sometimes can just bowl through stuff that you did not expect. Look at that, the second Thor does pop out. Clyde gonna know kind of what's going on here. Sees 3 facts, 1 reactor, 2 Thors out already. And Ensnare is actually gonna go ahead and make another command center. I like that play a lot.
And it will go down now. I love how like when the buildings are like being destroyed, like when it actually dies, like kind of falls a little bit. You know what I mean? And then it blows up. Oh, hold on.
Oh my God! Here we go. Clide with his blue flame Hellions trying to take out these Marines and Hellions, landing down all of his Vikings, throwing down some auto turrets as well. That tank on the high ground from Ensnare doing a great job, but Clide
that was totally unexpected. That was like, I just did not foresee Clide actually moving in like that.
Yeah.
He's got a rare timing now. If he wants to get a farther ahead, he could attack into him, but instead Clide is going to turn around. Nope, Clide making this cast difficult. Now Clide deciding to edge in here a little bit more.
Still has a lot of Raven energy that can help him out quite a bit. And I don't think Clide should truly move in yet, but I like this. A little blue flame Hellion drop. Draw some of his units away.
Didn't drop all the Hellions out there. Interesting. Looks like he just wants to take out some of these depots. I don't think he's going to commit to the push.
Yeah. Not really
I would
much
hope
a
he
reason
would.
to. You know, he is ahead. In the meantime, Ensnare trying to harass a bit more. 5 kills on that Banshee. Uses a scan as well. Clide right now actually has a ton of money banked. Huh. He is up a little bit in supply, but his supply blocked as well.
All right, trying to sneak in here again is Clide. You know, what's interesting about Clide, he's always a little bit late in making those Hellions actually move. You know, when you get it, oh my God, hold that thought again, excuse me. We have another engagement here that Clide is clearly going to come out on top of.
Ensnare with some interesting decisions here, but Clide should pull back. Those Thors will clean up.
Yeah.
The tanks don't come in, and Clide ends up losing all those Vikings.
But he will get those Thors, and
like
you know what? Ensnare might just barely be disarmed here. He's just not, he doesn't seem to be everywhere at once. Those Hellions are still there.
Indeed, and well, but Ensnare is, I mean, he's holding on. He's still in it a little bit. I mean, Clide has a lot of siege tanks, which is pretty scary. But Ensnare has that 3rd command center, floating it over right now to take his 3rd base. Clide's 3rd command center almost done in his natural. Some unit counts for, yeah, oh my God, actually Ensnare with 53 SCVs against 57 of Clide. He's done a great job of keeping SCV production up.
That is
despite all
pretty
the drops.
impressive.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you were just watching this game and you couldn't see statistics, you might be like, well, Clide has a massive lead right now. And he does have a lead, yeah. I mean, he has a lead in the game, but I would have assumed even with the workers.
Yeah, I thought it would be quite a few more workers for Clide by now. But Clide, he has just such a superior army as Ensnare is engaged in the middle map several times, kind of in an odd fashion.
All right, actually, he needs to be careful. Again, a premature cloak here from Ensnare, but he's going to lose a lot of SCVs if he's not actually careful. But he does manage to take out the Banshee. Meanwhile, Clide now in Ensnare's turf. He's moving in. He wants to try to get to that 3rd base. Can he get over there? He's getting into the siege tank line. Clide keeps going on. The upper left is hardly even defended.
Ensnare is way out of position, bringing up his Hellions. Down go the Vikings. And that siege tank being repaired like a boss.
All right, more siege tanks coming up here.
I cannot believe that siege tank lived.
I know, right? And I'm even surprised he didn't actually end up shooting down more SCVs around that siege tank. I think Clide now realizing, all right, I might have to back up and come up with another plan.
He lost a little bit of the edge of his lead.
I can't believe he's not still an orbital.
He doesn't have a barracks.
Oh my God.
Remember when he lost that? Yeah, he never rebuilt
my
it.
God, you are so smart.
Yeah. It's easy to tell. He's building the barracks next to him. Like, no, he's not going to switch into Marine Marauder. If he does, I'm going to have a talk with him. Ensnare right now is throwing up 2 more factories, so his macro is actually going to jump ahead of Clide for a bit because of that late rebuild.
He's going to do it once again. He's going to go in here.
And he killed the tank this time.
He needs to just get it sieged up, and he is doing it. He's going to get sieged up just in time. Oh my God, this tank was not going to die.
Edmund Duke finally goes down. Ensnare, a little bit sloppy here, taking some extra hits on his army.
Well, that was a pretty big victory there for Clide.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Ensnare wasn't identifying what Clide wanted to do. You know? Or he's going around, and I'm not sure what the game plan is from here.
Whether you're trying to play TVT or be a thoughtful boyfriend, you have to be aware of what your opponent wants to do.
Your opponent would be the girl?
Yeah, of course. Always, Jesus. What? Of course.
What?
Don't be silly.
Uh-oh. We could end up with a sandwich situation here. Yeah, okay, I see what he's going to do. He's just going, excuse me, to try to take the gold base since he doesn't control that position anymore. But meanwhile, Clide's going to close in on here. And I don't know who wins this battle here.
Yeah, this is a big flank by Ensnare. He's got a lot of Thors in here, some SCVs even coming up. And Ensnare may be able to break through here, but in fact, one of his Thors stuck in the back there for a little bit longer than he wanted, attacking the Vikings.
Blue Flame Hellions over here taking out a lot of these SCVs, but Clide does eventually deny it. And note there were a lot of siege tanks killed back there for Ensnare. Clide lost some too, but Clide right now definitely ahead in the siege tank count, and he is going to be able to run in here and potentially control this position.
You know, Ensnare's doing a great job right now. I feel like Clide's getting a little bit sloppy. He is building a lot of command centers right now, though, so as long as he can hold Ensnare at bay, he should be good to go.
Hellions peeking in here and then turning around. Clide's identified the fact that the gold base has been taken. Also, props to Ensnare for controlling that Zelnaga watchtower. That's so good.
And we actually have Blue Flame Hellions in the gold base of Ensnare.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that is painful.
Ouch. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was more painful than past that kidney stone taste. Just losing all those SCVs at the gold base.
Oh. 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 All right, another Blue Flame Hellion drop coming in here. And we have a little bit more damage done here and there. Oh, completely denied that.
Oh, wow, those Hellions. They just wanted to get down there.
They were actually failures.
Huh. Pacifists. Well, Clide just kind of controlling his side of the map, not letting Ensnare get anywhere near him. Great job, and does siege up.
Ensnare just trying to push Clide back as much as possible to create a no man's land that's as much on Clyde's side of the map and not on Ensnare's. You know, Clide just seems to be just ever so slightly ahead in each of these engagements, and he's actually going to go for it.
Nice move there, landing his Vikings down.
Oh, beautiful. Wow, there were way more Vikings than I even realized there.
Yeah, Clide is really on top of making his Vikings always. Siege up his tanks, a lot of those are red, but that's a beautiful position. That's going to make him go away from the gold. No way to cost efficiently break that right now for Ensnare. So he's going to have to go ahead and move that command center somewhere else and just forget about the gold for now.
As we can see, right now there's really, besides the natural, no real working expansion. He has an orbital floating on the map. He's got 2 more command centers making, but yeah, I mean, he is actually off with just 1 base. And this is allowing Clide to get a huge jump ahead even further in this game.
Yeah. Clide right now coming with all these units running over here. He's got to be careful, though. Thors can take a ton of damage. And he's going to go ahead and just land his Vikings. Clide says, you know what? Get out of here. Can he break through? Looks like, yeah, he absolutely
Yeah, he actually will.
Siege tanks outside of siege mode. Quite effective indeed in the right circumstance.
Thor
does go down.
Gets nipped in the butt. And again, Clide is just too aggressive. He's too present on the map. And, wow, that is a lot of siege tanks. Looks like he should be able to control this high ground location. And this is going to put, this is going to put Ensnare in a really bad position as Ensnare is going to run out of room to breathe here.
Yeah, in fact, Clide is going to cut off parts of the map. He's going to go over, perhaps deny some expansions. Ensnare coming with just 2 siege tanks up there. That is not enough, Tasteless. Clyde has a ton of siege tanks up here, 8 against 2.
There is no way Ensnare can engage that. I would say expect GG any second here.
Yeah. It does look like it. Dropping a mule for repair purposes.
That is so sexy.
Or actually, no, that was a missile mule from Ensnare. So he does end up cleaning it up, but at what cost, Tasteless?
At the cost of this game, GG.
Ensnare put up a pretty valiant fight, but Clide showed us why he's Clide. He glided right through that group.
He glided right through that group.
Yeah, he certainly did that.
What did Wolf call
He's a sugar glider.
His Clyde burns on the side of his head?
Yeah, his Clyde burns, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, Ensnare is a good player. He definitely put up a good fight, but let's face it.
Hey, he gets the same code S,
just
right?
outclassed him. Yeah.
He's a code S once again. Guy's never going to fall down, man. He's just quietly, always in Code S.
Quietly in Code S, always.
Wow.
Sometimes I try too hard.
Tasteless, that's why we love you.
Is that why?
No, it's because you're handsome.
We are going to go on to the second half of today's games.
Really exciting group, Tasteless.
There's a
only
Protoss.
3 Terrans in it.
Yeah.
3 Terrans and a Perrin.
How exotic.
I cannot wait.
So,
And it's not just any Protoss either. It's Puzzle, one of the greatest Protosses in the world.
Puzzle's
that
very
guy.
good.
His
He's a very
style
talented
is
player.
awesome, man. This guy loves observers.
He's a smart player.
Well, that's smart players love observers. That is the truth.
They're going to have a 5-minute break. What should they do? We haven't done this in a long time.
Well, Tasteless, what they should do is go on Twitter and add us Smartosis. He's Call Me Tasteless. Check out thehandsomenerd.com.
Oh, they should, the Sons of Starcraft documentary. Please donate to that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've already met their expectations for the budget, or exceeded even, but the more money they get, the longer they can be out here, the better the production is going to be.
And you know what? Go get a cup of tea. I'm a big coffee drinker and a big tea drinker, but I kind of alternate. I've been drinking a ton of coffee lately, but right now I'm kind of transitioning back into more tea.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that myself.
I feel better. Tea's really good for you. Make yourself a nice cup of tea. There's a lot of different good types of tea out there. Okay? Whatever type that you like.
I like chamomile tea.
Chamomile's nice, man. Relax at the end of the day with a cup of chamomile tea.
As you can see here, MVP, not even easily, but I mean, he did deserve to advance today with the 2-0. He definitely had a great game against Clide. And, of course, Clide will also move on with 2 wins and a loss. And Ensnare, he's a great player, but unfortunately, the other 2 players are just so good. So he's going to stay here in Code S, and Noblesse will now go down to the up and down matches where we will find out what his fate is going to be.
Yep. Will he make it back into Code S? It's a hard tournament, man. Up and down is unforgiving.
It's very unforgiving. And, I mean,
I would forgive him, but
the process here...
Up and down, maybe not.
The process is so effective for weeding out players who are just slightly weaker.
Yeah, man. It truly is that.
We're going to have that 5-minute break, so go get some tea. We'll be back soon here at the GSL October.
I do it for the thrill. You know I love the rush. And once you get me going, I can never get enough. I'll do that, let us say, the one night, like my thing.